Hello, Disney friends. Today we are going to be looking at this book again. This is a guide to pin trading. And I have volume 1 and I also have volume 2 over there. I just bought volume 2. I didn't even know they had a volume 2. I guess it came out much later. So volume 1 is from the start of when they started doing pin trading, which was back in October of 1999. They started for the millennial. And this one goes up to mid 2007. This one starts off in mid 2007 and goes up to about mid 2012, I heard. So I'm really excited to start diving into this one. But right now, if you can tell, I have these little stuff in my book. That's because I have them on certain pages because I have been going through, checking out some of my pins, which has actually been bringing me back some really amazing memories from when I started pin trading. So I thought I would share some more with you guys because I've just been really enjoying this. And I know last time you guys seemed to enjoy going through the book with me. So I found some more cool pages and some more of my pins to show you guys. All right. So we're going to go back to this because I have actually found more of my pins from these pages. So these pages right here are from when they did the Lanyard Disney pins. So what I mean is, like, I'm going to show you one. So here we have Snow White. Yes, in all of her beauty. Just a lovely pin. And if you turn it over, this one will tell you it is from 2002. And it says Lanyard Pin Series. So this you would find on a Disney cast member. You could not buy it in the parks. You could only get it off a Disney cast member. And most of the time in the morning, like me, when I was once a Disney cast member, and when I was wearing my lanyard, what they would do is they would come around and take a couple of our pins off and put some of these on. So in the morning, we would have some of these pins to trade with the guests that came into the parks. And let me tell you, I loved it when they came over to me and gave me some more pins. We could only have up to 8 pins on a lanyard at a time. And we could never have doubles. If we had doubles, we had to hurry and go switch them out. So this way, we couldn't have doubles. We could always have something different. So there's never, ever any doubles on people's lanyards. All right. So if we wanted to go look at for her, you can see her in the book. So here, it gives you her number. When you see this number, you can go down here at the bottom of the page and you would be able to find her. So here, again, her number was DW6947. So she's actually over here on this page. Oh, there she is. So Snow White in circle. And then here, it would give you a letter. That would be her grade. That would also indicate about what price range she would be. So A would be between a certain amount of money, and then it would go up to B, C, D, E. So she'd be on the lower end. Of course, now that it has been so long and have original is quite rare sometimes to have some original of these. These have, sadly, some of them have been faked. So most of the time people find them, they're like, oh, look what I found. And unfortunately, it has been faked. This one actually came off a lanyard back in 2003. So this one's definitely had not been faked yet. But isn't she beautiful? Oh, so pretty. But yeah, when I was not working at the parks, I would grab some of my own pins, go buy some, and then I would go find cast members and trade with them. So she landed up with me. And I do have some more. So here, this one was such a fun one. So, of course, look at that. There's Pluto. This one's another one that was one of my favorites. So this one, again, it was part of the Lanyard pin series back in 2002. And it is right here. I did at one point have more of these. At one point I remember having pretty much all of these on my lanyard, but I remember having Mickey and Minnie, and then definitely a Pluto, which I kept Pluto because he's adorable. But yeah, so again, you could go find the number, and you can go look down below and find out around their price range. So you have Donald in a tux, Minnie in a tux, Daisy in a tux, and they were all A's. They were all A's except Goofy. That was definitely what was one of the reasons why I hardly ever saw Goofy, because he was worth a little bit more because you couldn't find him as often on a cast member. So if you ever have Goofy, I would love to see, because I think that was actually one of the ones I actually never really got to see. But that's him right there. He's a special dude. But yeah, so all these series weren't like, it wasn't like a whole lot of the series. Like they would only have like 4 to 6 usually roughly in a series, and then you would have to go out and find them. But yeah, that was one of mine. And then here, oh my god, I have one of the Topia ones, which I love, the topiaries. So this one here is Dumbo. And I remember I do have the Little Mermaid one. And I think at one point I had Tinkerbell. I'll have to check to see if I still have Tinkerbell. I don't have Mickey or Minnie. But yeah, these were really cool. And they were on my lanyard quite a bit. But they're very, very pretty. I do like these. Again, this one came out in 2003. So if I remember right, when I was working down there, I remember these actually coming out. And then I was like, oh, these must be one of the newer ones. But yeah, these are really, really cool. I do like these. All right. And then, of course, then we have these license plates. So again, this one was a 2002. This says with Florian. This was Dopey. But they had different ones. So they had like I Heart, Mickey. And they had like, different ones. Oh, there's we have. Oh, there he is. Dopey. And I've seen quite a few of these when I was on there. I love Pixie. But yeah, so again, each of them had their own. I have a couple of these. And a couple of these too. Oh, I think I have Minnie right here. See, I have Minnie. Ta-da! Look at her go. Okay, so that's her. She's Hawaiian. But then again, this was part of like the series. But yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, like these were all fun to try to collect. So like when you went down and you would have 1 or 2, you would try to see if you can find them all on different cast members. But they all were there. So again, this whole page, all these pages right here are just of ones that you would find on cast members between when they started this. I think this one started back in 2002 is when they started like putting lanyards, pins on cast members. And then again, look at all these. These two were all some of them during that time period. There's so many. Oop, I have these right here. These Tinkerbell ones. I have these Tinkerbell ones. But yeah, they had so many. So many good ones. Ah, look at them all. You have to let me know in the comments below, like, if you started pin trading back then. If you remember seeing some of these on cast members. Did you get any of them? Because it was a lot of fun. Like, I just remember how much fun I had, even as a cast member, trading out with guests. Back then, you didn't really have to worry about fakes. Most of the time, we would land up maybe with a broken pin or a pin that was damaged, so we would have to go and trade it back out with another pin. But most of the time, we never had to worry about anything else, and it was a lot of fun. We did a lot of cool, fun trading. So yeah, so I wanted to show you guys that. So again, if you wanted to get this book, you can still find it online. I have found these online, on eBay, and I've seen it on Amazon. I find these really helpful, and also at the same time, you can find your pin and, learn a little bit about it, because they have different like pin details on some of the pins. So it's really kind of cool. Off a lanyard pin series before eventually they became Hidden Mickeys. So eventually they kind of changed the name to Hidden Mickeys. But yeah, it was a good fun time. All right, so then I want to get to this page. Okay. So what I wanted to show you guys over here was this. So back then, they had these kind of fun pins that you would have to find. So, and they would always be an LE. And you would have to find them all. So I remember quite a few where you would have to find maybe one at Magic Kingdom, one at Epcot, like one at Downtown Disney. Of course, back then, yeah, Downtown Disney. Now it's Disney Springs. And you would find them in different places, and they would have like different LEs. So each one was a different LE. But then you could also get like a board. So they would come like this one. you have all the pins that would go onto this board. So you had to collect them all. And this one was the Disney Pin Flowers of 2004 at Walt Disney World. And you would get this, you would get it, and then you would go around and you would get all of the flowers. Now, sometimes it was hard to get all the flowers because sometimes they were all different LEs. All right. Da-da-da. All right, so this was the Disney Pin Flowers map of 2004. So all these were mini. You had Queen of Hearts. We had Simba. So we had all of these. And then, of course, the Figment was the completer one. And you had to go around. You had to try to see if you could get them all. So here I have one. I have a flower in a flower. So you can see out of all these, we have flower. So this is about how big the pin was. And if you look in the back, it would tell you. So this one was a limited edition of 2,500. But it doesn't actually really tell you down here their LE, which I thought was interesting. So it just talks about the map, but for some reason they must have missed on the LE part. But this one was 2,500. So there was more of him made. But I do remember that they had some that had fewer. And then, again, I never got the map. But I remember seeing him and bought him. But again, like, you could get the map and you could add them all on. They did this quite a bit in 2003 and 4, where it might have gone into 2005, but you can get a buy map and you could, like, put the pins on and go around and find them for different events. But yeah, that was really cool. They even had one for Easter. I had one for an Easter event they did where they had all these different pins. And actually one you could only get off a cast member to finish the board. So maybe that's why he has said that he was the completer. Could have been because he was from a cast member. But yeah, you could get them all, complete the board, and it kind of made a picture. Which I thought that was kind of fun. I kind of wish sometimes Disney would bring something like that back where you could go around and try to collect the pins from all the parks, and then try to make a poster board, like have it become a picture again, because I think that was a lot of fun. I don't know, did anybody ever have any of these and completed them and still have them? Because I would love to know. I always got a piece here and there, but I never got to complete a set. It would be fun. All right, that's on this page. Dun, da, da. For here. Oh, that's right. I wanted to show the cast Backstage series. So they had this thing where it was Backstage. So if you go here we have some of the Backstage ones. You could only get if you were a cast member and it was for Backstage. So it was kind of like we were told about them and where we could go to get them. And we had to wait in line to get them. But I remember having to get some of these. So I have 2 of these because this is from 2003. And again, these were the Backstage series. So I'm going to show you the cast member Backstage. Here they are. So cast member series. They were all limited edition of 3,000 each. You had the White Rabbit. You had Donald, Chip, and Dale. You had the Goofy at a locker. Belle, of course, she was at her makeup table. And then you had the cast belt and bus. It was over here. So this one right here, which was Peter Pan. So let me just... So here... You have the Belle one. Isn't she pretty? Yes, I waited in line for this. Again, she was in an LE of 3,000. It's really, really small. You can barely see it. It's up here. See how little that is? I remember waiting for this one. And again, it says Backstage. The pins for trading tour. And it was considered for a cast pin event. So... we learned about where it was and when to go, and you had to go and you had to wait in line, and that's how you could get this pin. But yeah, so I was like, I don't really collect Belle, but I just remember like I wanted to have her because I wanted to be one, go back and like hang out with all the other cast members and wait in line for this pin, and I did. So that's how I had this one. Then another one, which I thought was really cool, was the Peter Pan one. This one came out for celebrating the 50th anniversary, and it's right here. So it's right in there. And this one also was part of a cast exclusive, which you had to get, which I waited for. Yeah, and it was also a limited edition of 3,000, and it was around the same time, so I went back, had to get it. But I actually, it was kind of a fun time to like when they would tell us and we'd have to go and get them. It's kind of like it is now, but now they do it where they show it online to everyone and it's like cast pins and then they can go online get them. But for us, we would all find out where they were, where it was located, and then we had to go wait and get them ourselves. So it was kind of fun. So yeah, I landed up with 2 of these. But I really enjoyed like getting cast member pins. And so these pages are a lot of all the first cast member pins that they had came out with. Like I do have some of these locker series as well, which I showed in my last video. But yeah, so these are again all cast members. All right. So here, these are also, I'm telling you, there's a lot of cast members. So again, these were all for more cast members, and I have some of these. So these are the main, I got some of the main gate pass series, which are right here. I would love to collect more of these. These are really cool. So these came out in 2004. They have different ones, so let's get a little closer. So here we have, this one's for Downtown Disney, which again now is Disney Springs, so they've changed it. This one was for Walt Disney World, so this is the pass for that one. These were all called passes. Then we have the Animal Kingdom one. We have, of course, MGM. Now it's Hollywood's. You have one for the resorts. So Pluto was for the resorts. Then, of course, we have Cinderella. She was for Magic Kingdom. And then we had over here for the World of Sports. So we also had that in 2004. And then, of course, Epcot. So Epcot's way down here. Of course, it's Figment. But these were really cool, and I have 2 of these. So I had the first 2. I have the Downtown Disney one, and I have Walt Disney World one. Okay, so these are the main gates one right here. So main gate pass series. These were all LEs of 2000. And so again, the ones that I have are Bs, and then you have some like Stitch was a B+. Figment, of course, is a B+. Most of these are Bs. So yeah, I mean, most of these I would probably value now a little higher. Probably like, these are probably more like Cs now. But again, they were really, really cool. So let me show you the ones I have. So here, this one's the Downtown Disney one. So this is for 2004. And when you open it up, which is really cool, is you have Goofy in there, but he is his own pin. So you can actually take him out. See, it comes right out of there. So it's like a pin in a pin. It's like a little book with a pin and a pin. And you can close it. I have seen some of these on eBay, and sadly the pin inside is missing, which is really sad. But again, it would tell you in the back, see, this is a limited edition of 2000 main entrance pass series. It was for cast members. I absolutely love these. I think they're so awesome. So then I have also this one right here. This one's really cool. So this one again is another main pass one, and it's got Mickey inside of it. Look at him. So cool. And again, he says another pin. They have two prong, the little one. So it's really funny. The big pin has 1 prong, and the little pin has 2 prongs. See, they stick out, which actually makes the big pin then have 3 prongs, which I think is really kind of cool. Because when I put on my board, they just kind of all stick in there, and I can just open it up. So it feels like they have 3 prongs because I don't take the little pin out. It's going to stay in there. But again, see, main entrance pass series. So these were really fun. I do like these. These are really cool. And look at that. Pictures. Oh, it's got the little hat. Oh. But yeah. So cool. All right. So, again, that is what I wanted to show you from that page, because I thought that was kind of fun. So they actually had what they call a princess ball event. I know. I didn't get to go to it. I don't know if anybody. If you've went to it, please let me know in the comments below, because that I want to hear about. It was at Magic Kingdom. And if I remember, I was at Cinderella's castle, and they had these pins there. Look at these pins of all the princesses. They had all these. And these were a limited edition of 1,500. But the artist that actually created all these for the event was there, and she actually would sign some of them. So I do have one, and it is from, again, 2002. So here we have Jasmine. And in the back, it is signed by Michelle. So there you have it. Look at that. And again, it says right here, the Princess's Ball event. I think it was so cool. Again, this was in 2002, the limited edition of 1,500. But I just think that was like the coolest thing. The only sad part about this is I've had it for a very, very long time. And somehow this little gem that was in here actually is a different color. So they're all blue. This one's blue. This one's blue. But this one was yellow. And I don't know where it went. Sadly, I mean, this pin's like 20 years old, but I'd like to get another little tiny yellow gem. Try to see if I can get it back in there, because I have looked everywhere, and it must have fallen out a long time ago. But yeah, so I was just really excited when I had gotten this one. It is gorgeous. I did love the fact that they actually put her in her purple dress. I love this purple dress on her. So yeah, so there you have it. See, all of them there. And so you'll have to let me know in the comments below if you have any of these. These are really, really awesome. And again, they were from the event. So they had some really cool events, and they actually tell you the date. So when this date, the event took place. And then these were all the different ones from the event. Then even had the next event and when it took place and where all the pins from. So I think that's really cool. So not only these were from the event, they had other pins too from that event. But yeah, if you've ever gone to the Princess Ball event, please let me know. I was just really kind of curious about it. Because it sounded like it was a lot of fun. All right, this was for Epcot. Epcot had an event. I actually went to it. It was an event at Epcot, and it was just for a few, I think if I remember right, a couple days, but they had the pins that came out and it stayed longer. But it was quite the event. It had quite a lot of pins. I have 2 pins from the event. I kind of wish I would have gotten more. Like, I see some of the other pins that I remember seeing there, and I kind of wish I grabbed it. It was called the Happiest Pin Celebration. It was all about celebrating pins. Again, me being obsessed with pins at the time, I was like, oh, I have to have some of these. So I did collect some of these, but I still wish I would have gotten more. Like, I really would have loved to have gotten this Chip 'n Dale one, or this one of Chip 'n Dale. I mean, they had so many cool pins from this event. I'm like looking at them all. I'm like, oh, I would have wish. I remember seeing them. I just, at the time, I was like, oh, I'll just grab these 2, and then kind of wish I would have grabbed a couple more. But they were really cool. So this is like a lot from that pin event. So here's the ones that I had grabbed. Dun, da, da. Yes, this beauty. I know some people have seen this beauty before. It is just a stunning one. See, the gems here are still on here. So that's good. But yeah, so this was part of that pin event to celebrate. And again, she's in her pink dress, but she's looking in the mirror and she's wearing her blue dress. Just love this one for Aurora. And then this one was a limited edition of 750. Most of the pins there were 750 for the event. But look at that. It's so cool. See, it says Happiest Pin Celebration. It was such a fun event. And this was again back in 2005 when they did this pin event. So this was one of them. And then the other one, of course, I had to get was Ariel. And of course, she had little bubbles. They're like little bubbles around her. But so pretty. And this one, it says it much easier right on the front. It says Happiest Pin Celebration on Earth. Right in the front. And in the back. See again, it says 2005. This is a limited edition of 750. But again, it's such a beautiful pin. I absolutely love it. So again, this was here. So these are the 2 that I was showing you. And again, there was like a whole bunch of them going all the way through. That was part of the celebration. But again, it starts here. See, Epcot Pin Celebration. The dates that it happened on in 2005. And then it shows all the pins, all the different pins. And you can go through them and see if you could find. And the ones that if you had any. Because there's just so many from that event. Like this whole page is just full of all these different pins. There she is. She's getting dressed and ready. So here it says it would be a B B negative, but I've actually seen this one now on eBay, and it's more like a C plus, because it's gone quite up. And then again, here we have Happy Ariel, and here she's a B minus, but I think more like she would be more like a C minus now. I don't think she's as moved up as high as the Aurora one, but I have seen her on eBay as well. So they have a lot of these on eBay that I've seen, and again, they were a lot of them were like limited edition of 750 or 500, a few and 1,000, but it's kind of cool. That's what I love about this book, is that you can actually go through and look, and most of the time they have the LE next to them. So I did want to show you guys one more section that I missed in here. So here are these three. These for merchantainment. Again, these were only given to cast members who did merchantainment, and I was part of the merchantainment team back when I worked at Disney World. I worked in merchantainment mostly around Haunted Mansion. I worked in Liberty Square. That was like my main section for Magic Kingdom. I was doing it because I wanted to be a graphic designer and I wanted to be an illustrator. I did get to actually work with some of the people on Main Street and did some illustration at the same time. Actually, if you ever go into like downtown Disney, their Christmas shop, and you see some of the ones that do like designing on the ornaments and do calligraphy, I actually did that too. Because you have to take a special test in order to do that. But I took a test, passed, and I used to also draw people's names on their ornaments, which was so much fun. But I do have this one, so I wanted to show you guys. See, look. Ta-da! So they gave me that for merchantainment because you get it when you earn it. I was caught many times being wonderful with guests, and they would give me a reward. And if you got more than 3, you got this pin. So I was really excited. I felt like it was such a great reward to earn, and I have it. So if you look over here, you can actually find it. See? Merchantainment Mickey. B. And then I have this one too, the Merchantainment 2005, which is this one. This one's not little. This one's actually quite huge. But because it was all about merchandise. And again, I was huge into I loved just being part of the merchantainment team. And yeah, so again, this was just a cast member exclusive, but it was for those who worked in merchantainment. They call it merchantainment because it was like you entertained at the same time as you were being with the guest, which I enjoyed. When I used to work the Haunted Mansion cart, which I loved working the Haunted Mansion cart, I would always try to sell those little ghost dogs, and I would chase people around with the ghost dogs. But I had so much fun. But I've loved learning about pin trading and stuff like that. And I got so into it and was so into it with the guests that I also earned this one too, which was the Cass Pin Trading Award. I got it in 2003, and they had given it to me for Top Dog Pin Trader because I had pin traded with so many guests. And it says, "Congratulations, you have been observed, enhancing our guest pin trading experience at Walt Disney World." This pin means so much to me because I love pins, and I loved pin trading. I loved pin trading back then. I don't know what it'd be like now because it's so different. But I just know back then I loved trading with guests. I loved being part of the, pin trading experience for guests. No matter if you were an adult or a kid, I think pin trading is for everyone. I know a lot of people are like, well, it's for the kids. I'm like, I think it's also for adults. I think adults had just as much fun as running up to me and trying to find which pins I had and which ones they wanted to trade, as much as kids did. So, but there's my reward for loving pins as much as I do. I love pin trading. So there you have it. Here's what I wanted to show you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the cool pins and hearing me talk about the book. I love the book. You have to let me know in the comments below if you have gotten any of the books. Have you looked at some of your books? If you looked at them recently and gone through it and be like, oh yeah, I have this pin. Because again, I have gone through this one many times, but now that I just ordered this one, I've started looking through it. It's so overwhelming. It's so much fun. There's so many pins. Look at all these pins. And this is just up to 2012 of all the pins from Disney World. So I can only imagine what they would do if they would continue from 2012 on. I don't know if there's another one. I've looked. I haven't seen any other ones, but you have to let me know in the comments below if you know if there's a volume 3. Please let me know, because I'd be more than happy to hunt it down and add that to my collection. So again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Enjoyed having you. Take care, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye now.